The champagne glass slipped from my hand, shattering against the marble floor. Her laughter, soft, familiar, cruel, echoed through the hallway before I even reached the door. It wasn't the laugh itself that froze me. It was the voice that followed it. Deep, husky, unmistakable. Ethan. The man she told me not to worry about. I stood in the shadow of our bedroom doorway, the city lights flickering through the curtains, illuminating just enough to see silhouettes tangled on our bed. Her fingers grazed his chest, gentle, knowing. My chest tightened, air trapped behind my ribs. For a second I thought I'd imagined it. That I was the jealous girlfriend she'd always accused me of being. But then I heard her whisper. He was never like you. My stomach turned. I didn't scream. Didn't run. I just stepped backward. One quiet, deliberate step at a time, until the doorframe no longer held their outline. The taste of metal filled my mouth. My heart wasn't breaking, it was hardening. The next morning she was gone before sunrise. She left a note. You deserve better. I can't be who you need me to be. No apology. No confession. Just a clean exit, as if erasing me from her life was an act of mercy. For weeks I tried to swallow it. I replayed every fight, every tear, every time she said, "You're too sensitive." I told myself maybe I'd been too much. Maybe I drove her to him. But each night, when I lay in the cold den where she used to sleep, that lie dissolved a little more. She hadn't left because I was too much. She'd left because I was finally enough to make her feel small. And I wasn't done shrinking. 3 months later I got an invitation to her engagement party. Her name beside his. It was bold, almost theatrical, sent like a dare. I imagined her thinking I'd delete it, maybe cry into my pillow, maybe call a friend to dissect it. But she underestimated me. That night, I stared at the invite until it blurred. Then I opened Instagram. The first face that popped up made my breath catch. Rachel. Her ex-best friend. The one she'd always called toxic. The one she swore she'd cut off because she couldn't stand the competition. The one she once accused of trying to steal me away. Clicked message. Hey. Long time no see. Rachel and I met for coffee the next day. She walked in wearing that same confident smirk that used to drive my ex insane. She looked me over once. Measured, curious, but didn't ask why I'd reached out. I didn't explain right away either. I just let silence sit between us until it turned heavy. Finally I said, "She's marrying him." Rachel's eyes darkened. Of course she is. The way she said it, sharp, detached, told me everything. She'd been burned by her too. She said I wasn't good enough, I murmured. Rachel leaned forward, a glint of fire in her expression. Then let's remind her who taught her how to burn. The night of the engagement, the hotel ballroom glowed gold and white. Everyone looked polished, perfect, rehearsed. When I walked in with Rachel beside me, heads turned. She wore red, deep, dangerous, unforgettable. I could feel the tension ripple through the crowd, like the room itself inhaled and forgot to exhale. And then she saw us. Her smile faltered mid-sentence. Her fingers tightened around Ethan's arm. I didn't need to say a word. My presence was enough. Rachel's laughter, low and deliberate, cut through the hum of conversation. "Relax," she said loud enough for nearby guests to hear. "We're just here to celebrate." The color drained from my ex's face. She excused herself from a group of guests and walked straight toward me. "What are you doing here?" Her voice trembled beneath a layer of forced composure. "Got your invitation," I said. "Would have been rude not to come." Her eyes flicked to Rachel, then back to me. "You brought her." Rachel smiled. "Missed you too, darling." For a heartbeat no one spoke. Then my ex laughed, a brittle defensive sound. "You really couldn't come alone, could you? You needed a show." I leaned closer, just enough for her to smell my perfume, the same one she used to borrow. "No. I needed closure." She opened her mouth, but I cut her off. "You broke me," I said softly. "You made me believe I wasn't enough. You lied, cheated, and still tried to make me feel small for bleeding. But look around. I gestured to the room, to Rachel, to myself. You're marrying the man you settled for. I walked in with the woman you feared most. Tell me, who's really winning? Her expression faltered, a flicker of doubt crossing her face before she recovered. You're pathetic. Maybe, I said, smiling. But at least I'm honest about it. Rachel slipped her arm through mine. Together we turned and walked away. The sound of whispers followed like smoke. We didn't stay long. Outside, the city buzzed with neon and laughter. Rachel lit a cigarette, exhaling a slow curl of smoke. She deserved that, she said. I nodded, but the satisfaction was fleeting. Revenge wasn't victory, it was release. What filled me wasn't triumph. It was quiet. Funny, I murmured, watching the smoke dissolve into the cold night air. I thought this would make me feel whole again. Rachel glanced at me. And does it? I looked up at the ballroom windows. Through the glass, I could see my ex standing alone at the top of the stairs, her perfect evening crumbling beneath the weight of her own lies. Not whole, I said. But real. Rachel smiled faintly. Real's a good start. As we walked away, the echoes of the night faded behind us. For the first time in months, the silence didn't hurt, just fit. And in that stillness, I finally understood. Being good enough was never the problem. Believing it was.